Hi everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. It's my favorite time of the year. It's NonFiction November. If you haven't already heard about NonFiction November, the point of NonFiction November is quite simply to get people to read more nonfiction. Olive over at A Book Olive is one of the hosts, and the NonFiction November reading challenge, readathon, whatever you want to call it, has been around for 7 years. This is actually how I first found a lot of my favorite booktubers in the community, was by following Olive's playlist of other nonfiction booktubers and participating in NonFiction November last year. For those who read a ton of nonfiction, and just for a little bit of a challenge or some guidance, there are 4 one-word prompts to help with NonFiction November. The 4 prompts for NonFiction November are collection, industry, style, and treatment. Now you can interpret these however you see fit, but I'm going to try and take them as quite literally as possible. And let me show you some of the books I will be reading, and a couple in here are also just general recommendations. So first, starting with collection, in food writing, it's always easy, or at least I find it easy, to find lots of different collections of writing from different food writers. The first recommendation I have is A Fork in the Road, Tales of Food, Pleasure, and Discovery on the Road. It's edited by James Osland, and some of the writers in here are Michael Pollan, Marcus Samuelsson, Carla Hall, Curtis Stone, and many more. I love the cover of this, by the way, and it is a group of essays, and there are, I believe, 34 different writers in here, and I'm super, super excited. I actually don't know much about Lonely Planet as an imprint, so I do think I'm gonna look up more books from this area after I'm done reading this. So that's the book I personally want to read for this prompt. But a great way to read a lot of writers, but not invest in a ton of books. Perhaps you're new to nonfiction and you're a little bit interested in food writing, but not sure where to start. There is the Best of American series. I'm currently holding up the Best of American Travel Writing. The reason I'm holding up the Best of American Travel Writing is, first off, I never read the 2020 version. I also have the 2021 version. The 2021 version is actually edited by Padma Lakshmi, who is a member of the food writing space. She is the host of Top Chef. So this is a great way to start. There also is the Best of American Food Writing. I will put the picture right here. It's on my wish list and it didn't come for my birthday, so I have a feeling someone has bought it for me for Christmas. Otherwise, I would be reading the Best of American Food Writing in 2021, and it is already out on shelves and is edited by Gabrielle Hamilton, who is a successful chef who owns Prune in New York City. Now on to prompt number 2, which is industry. Well, food writing is all about the food industry in many different facets. So you could do a food industry like a single food, or maybe you want to learn about the restaurant industry or just food in general. So I plan on reading Truffle Hound. This is a new 2021 release that I got for my birthday, which you can see in my cards and down below in my birthday book haul. Truffle Hound, on the trail of the world's most seductive scent with dreamers, schemers, and some extraordinary dogs, by Rowan Jacobson. So this is the book. Just came out in October. But if you're looking for something other than truffles, which is a very expensive gourmet good, it's part of the fungi family, you could read Rowan Jacobson's earlier work, which is The Geography of Oysters, The Connoisseur's Guides to Oyster Eating in North America. So this is all about the oyster industry, probably more about the gourmand side of it versus the actual, fishery business side of it. But in the realm of the fishing industry, I'm currently reading Billion Dollar Fish, and this is all about the Alaskan pollock, the fish, and its industry. How it's in everything we eat today, from McDonald's McDonald's filet of fish is made with Alaskan pollock, and most of our general fish sticks that you buy in the frozen food aisle come from the Alaskan pollock. Other industries you could look at that I just don't have the books in front of me, but they're on my shelves over there. You could read Buzz and learn all about bees. You could be reading something like Franchise and learn all about McDonald's and its impact on the South and Black communities. Other industries you could learn about: Jello Girls, Sweet Spot by Amy Edinger. Learn all about the ice cream industry. The list goes on and on. I'm happy to provide more recommendations. In general, I have many recommended reading lists and a playlist that I'll link down below, and maybe that'll also inspire you to find some food writing books for NonFiction November. I've done lists about food memoirs from male chefs, female chefs, Earth Day, and so on. The final book for industry is also a new book that came out this summer, and this is The Secret History of Food by Matt Siegel. And this is the strange but true stories about the origins of everything we eat. This is definitely an approachable book for if you're new to the food writing space, because each chapter kind of focuses on a different food or a little different history. It's a celebration, but it's so much fun. So, Breakfast of Champions, The Children of Corn, Honey Laundering, The Vanilla of Society, The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. In general, this book is only 177 pages, not including the index and all the citations and all of the works referenced at the back of the book. So this is under 200 pages and a really great introduction to the food writing space. The third prompt for NonFiction November is style. Now, you could take an artistic fashion style and read all about the numerous nonfiction books that exist about fashion, but I'm interpreting it as, what has style and how does it play in the food industry? So first, I have to talk about Black Food by Bryant Terry. This is a new October 2021 release, and look at this cover. This is a stylish cover, right? It's also a great book. It's stories, art, and recipes from across the African diaspora, A beautiful, rich, and groundbreaking book exploring Black foodways with America and around the world, curated by food activist and author of Vegetable Kingdom by Bryant Terry. This is also a new publication. It is a new imprint as well. So I really hope that you guys go and support 4Color Books, which is an imprint of 10 Speed Press. So 4Color Books, these are all books under this imprint that are from authors of color, which is super exciting to see. I love to see diverse voices growing in the food writing space. Oh my gosh, and look at these pictures. They're stunning. They're delicious, I should say. So this is definitely not a narrative kind of book. This is more of a coffee table book. There are some interviews in here. There are little essays as well, but are also recipes. But in terms of stylish, this is a stylish cover. Another stylish cover, and I also could use this for the treatment prompt, which is the next prompt, is Tiny Moons, A Year of Eating in Shanghai by Nina Mingya Pols. I love this cover. It's also a treat because it took me so long to find it that I actually had to order it from Amazon UK. You guys know that I would much rather support a small bookstore or even bookshop.org, and I could not find this anywhere, and I had to order it abroad. It's a very small book. It's a collection of essays, which also could help with the collection prompt I mentioned earlier. Tiny Moons is a collection of essays about food and belonging. Nina Mingya Pols journeys between Wellington, Kota Kinabalu, and Shanghai, tracing the constants in her life, eating and cooking, and the dishes that have come to define her. Through childhood snacks, family feasts, Shanghai street food, and student dinners, she attempts to find her way back towards her Chinese-Malaysian heritage. This book is also on the shorter side and comes in just at 85 pages. I'm very excited to read this. Well, my camera battery is going to die, so hopefully I can finish at least this third prompt. And then another book for style is May We Suggest? Restaurant Menus and the Art of Persuasion by Alison Perlman. Have you ever noticed how some menus are stylish and they break out and they make you excited to eat food? I think style and persuasion are really important elements to successful restaurants and also successful menus. So this is the book I will be reading for NonFiction November, but you do have 2 other great suggestions for the style prompt. Okay, we have a fresh new battery and we're back for the final prompt for NonFiction November 2021, which is treatment. So treatment probably brings you more to the medical space for nonfiction, which is totally fine. I actually regret that I have a whole book about the Kellogg's brothers and their work to create this kind of camp where people went to eat to control their weight, and also was the development of things like cornflakes. That is on my wrapped TBR for books I bought in 2020, so I don't have that readily available to me. Another recommendation for this could be something like Jello Girls, which is the memoir and history of the Jello heiresses. So essentially it's going through 2 different generations and how they each suffer from different drug addictions and medical issues. And it's a different way of looking at treatment. And the idea, well, at least the way the Jello Girls book is pitched, is that the women of the family are cursed, which it's just that a lot of addictions are hereditary. But I digress. So 2 recommendations I have for you. The first is Our Lady of Perpetual Hunger by Lisa Donovan. She is a James Beard Award-winning chef, and it is her story, and this book is kind of her treatment around how she was treated in the food space. And she worked in some of the most important kitchens and really had to confront some of the abuse and assault she faced as a single mother. And it's her memoir. I have been dying to read this. I'm so glad that I got it for my birthday, and now it's in paperback. So treatment, I'm interpreting 2 ways. Her treatment within the industry, and then treatment in the sense of her healing. She left those kitchens and moved on to find something new to do with her life. I'm still in the food space, but she learns how food and self-reliance can save her as another form of treatment. The other book I want to recommend to you is Michael Pollan's newest book, This Is Your Mind on Plants. He is focusing on a couple different areas: opium, caffeine, and mescaline. And these can be considered treatments for some people for their ailments, and for some it can be the detriment. So I am super excited to read this book. I love Michael Pollan's books. I am very excited to read about these specific plants. And there are a couple others that he's going to cover. But for me, when I have migraines, I actually drink a lot of caffeine because it helps to dilute my blood vessels. I think that's what they're doing. And to me, that is a treatment for a migraine. Caffeine is a treatment for a migraine. So you get where I'm going with this prompt. Another 2021 release, and I am so excited. A lot of my books for NonFiction November are 2021 releases because I'm so excited to read them, and now I kind of have justification to read them versus other books already on my TBR. I'm cheating myself in my own game, but that's okay. Remember that the point of NonFiction November is to just try and read something that's nonfiction. One book, doesn't matter how long it is, and doesn't matter how you consume it. It could be a physical book, an ebook, or an audiobook, or you could do immersive reading. If you need additional book recommendations in the food writing space, I will link to the playlist below for recommended reads, or just hit me up in the comments. I am happy to give you more suggestions. On your way to the comments, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let me know on the list I gave you today. What are you most excited to hear about? Are there any that you want full reviews for? Or should I maybe vlog my whole month of November for NonFiction November? I would love to hear from you. Don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram to find out what I'm up to date and live, and also what's going on with the Read It and Eat subscription box. I hope you're well and happy reading. See you for NonFiction November. Bye.